Hi, and welcome back to the March wrap up. This is probably going to be posted in May, if I'm being honest with myself, because when I'm filming this, I have not even finished uploading the January or February wrap ups yet. I love myself. If you've seen those, you know the drill. Just a wrap up of everything I've watched, read, listened to, etc. in March. I have the tier ranking right here. As always, I don't exactly remember what the categories were last time, but I think I got the vibe of them. I have consumed my thoughts for S tier. These are things that consumed my being. Live, laugh, love. I mean, it's alright. Wouldn't recommend, and I want my money back. First, we have this right here. This is one of those crappy drama shorts that I ended up watching, and it's called The Mafia Boss. And it's about this undercover cop who she really wants to get rid of all organized crime in her city. So what she does is she goes undercover and agrees to be a contract wife / bodyguard basically for the mafia boss. And believe it or not, they end up having a romance. I wouldn't recommend this one. It was alright. It kind of left off on a cliffhanger, and I don't know if they're going to do a follow-up to it, so that's part of the reason it's in wouldn't recommend, and then another reason is I really have a hard time just recommending these drama shorts in general because... Next up we have Criminal Minds. I watched seasons 1 through 3 this month. This consumed my thoughts. Oh my god, the amount of Criminal Minds I was watching. I was watching so much Criminal Minds, I started dreaming that I was in Criminal Minds. So Criminal Minds consumed my thoughts. There was a good 2 weeks this month, so half the month where if I wasn't at work or sleeping, I was watching Criminal Minds. And if I was at work, I was talking about Criminal Minds. And then the last show I watched, I don't even want to say it. Okay. The last show I watched is a TLC show, so that's how you know. But it's a TLC show called My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding. I am 100% aware that this show is not representative of the traveler community whatsoever. I am fully aware that these are actors that are being paid and whatever. However, it is the same reason I will still go back and watch Dance Moms. Is it not ethical or appropriate? 100% absolutely. Is it entertaining as hell? 100% absolutely. And that's what this was. I'm gonna put it in I mean it's alright. I would have trouble recommending this to people. I would probably only recommend it if you're also into very trashy reality TV and you're also very aware that this is not representative of the community in general. I watched seasons 1 through 2. I don't know how many seasons there are, but there's actually a lot more than I expected. And then for movies, I only watched 3 movies, and they were all Taylor Tomlinson's comedy specials on Netflix. This one is Quarter Life Crisis. I'm gonna be honest, I can't differentiate between all 3 of them because I watched them all back to back to back. So I don't remember which one was which, but they're all gonna go in Live, Laugh, Love. So we have Quarter Life Crisis, Look at You, and then I don't know what this last one is called, but I'll put it in the thing right here. Yeah, they're all Live, Laugh, Love. I thought she was really funny and stuff, but I don't know, I had no desire to. I guess comedy specials are kind of hard to go back and rewatch anyway. You know what, maybe I'm gonna put in I mean it's alright because I remember really liking them at the time, but now that I'm looking back at them, I don't know. We have Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley always consumes my thoughts whenever I play it, so that's just gonna go right there. I was working on my main farm. I think I'm trying to get my very first farm that I still have from when I started playing Stardew Valley back in 2020. I'm trying to get that to perfection slowly but surely. We have the Hello Kitty Island Adventure Deluxe Edition. Specifically. This is gonna go in I mean it's alright. I haven't played too much of this. I honestly, it's giving very Animal Crossing. I just don't see anything too special about it, but I don't hate it. I have It Takes Two. This is a co-op game where you play as a married couple getting divorced and they get turned into dolls. Very simple explanation of it, but I played this with my best friend when I saw her over the weekend, and we had a lot of fun with it, and I kind of really want to play it some more. And the thing about this game is you can only play co-op, so if you end up playing with someone and you can't be together all the time to play it, and you want to play it by yourself, you can't. I have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I played this when I was also visiting my best friend, and then her boyfriend came over and we played that together. I mean, it's alright. It's Mario Kart. Nothing too special about it, in my opinion, but whatever. The only podcast I listened to was the It's Too Hot Takes podcast. That is Live, Laugh, Love. I love Morgan and all her guests. I love the Reddit stories she chooses. They're always the best ones. The only thing is, and this isn't on her, this is just in general, I wish there was more to the Reddit stories. Like, I wish we got all the updates, like, right away. We didn't have to wait. But it is what it is. Lastly, we are at the books. The first book I read is When He Was Wicked. This is by Julia Quinn. This is the 6th Bridgerton novel. This is the 6th Bridgerton novel. This follows Francesca and Michael Sterling, and Francesca is actually a widow. She was married in the earlier books, and her husband unfortunately passed away suddenly. And she decides a couple years later that she's ready to remarry because she wants a child. And she's going into whatever new marriage she's in thinking, I am not going to be in love with him. It's going to be a marriage of convenience for a baby. But she has to get Michael Sterling, who is now the Earl Kilmartin, because John, her first husband, was the Earl Kilmartin, and since he passed away, it went on to Michael, who is now the Earl Kilmartin. And Michael has had a thing for Francesca since she got married to John, but he never wanted to overstep his boundaries, and when John passed, Michael thought he couldn't have Francesca because it would almost be like he was happy John died. So it's just them coming together and realizing that they have feelings for each other. Francesca realizing that she can love again. Michael realizing that he doesn't have to feel guilty about his feelings for Francesca. It was really good. I really liked it. I would say I don't like it as much as The Viscount Who Loved Me. That one is my favorite Bridgerton novel, and I have a feeling it's going to be my favorite Bridgerton novel. But after that one, I had To Sir Philip with Love, which was Eloise's, which is actually the book right before this. I think I liked this one better than To Sir Philip with Love. So I think it's my second favorite Bridgerton novel at the moment. This was Live, Laugh, Love. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I didn't consume my thoughts, though. That's saved for, like, stuff that, like, I could not stop thinking about. Then I have Boyfriends Volume 1. This is by Refrain Bell, I believe is the author. It's a webtoon that got turned into a book. I didn't like it. I want my money back. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. If you don't know what it's about, it is about 4 guys, and I don't think they have names, but one is goth, one is preppy, one is nerdy, and then one is athletic. And they all decide to be in a polyamorous relationship together, and they're trying to navigate it and, like, you know their feelings for each other and stuff like that. The thing that really got me, though, is that it gets so cringy at some points. And listen, I was in college and high school at one point, too, but I can only take so much cringe before it's actually physically hard for me to read the book, and this one, it passed that line a lot. So I want my money back. I didn't like it. It was so cringy. It was just, if the cringe went down like 1,000 notches, I would have liked it more. We have Rapunzel's Revenge by Shannon Hale and Dean Hale with art by Nathan Hale, I believe. This is a graphic novel, and it is about Rapunzel, who, we all know the story of Rapunzel, but this one is a Wild West twist with Rapunzel trying to get revenge on Mother Gothel. I mean, it's alright. I really liked it. I am interested in checking out the second one because there's another one called Calamity Jack, I believe. I am interested in checking that one out. But, like, it was alright. It was nice to see a different take on the Rapunzel story. I have A Soul to Heal by Opal Rain. This is the second book in the Duskwalker Brides series. I'm gonna put it in also, and I mean, it's alright. I really liked A Soul to Keep, as you can see right here. I really liked A Soul to Keep. And then, so I went into this one. Actually, one of my coworkers at work, she's also read the first one, and then she started reading A Soul to Heal, and she didn't like it. She DNF'd it. I read A Soul to Heal, and I liked it. People's biggest problem with it was the surprise pregnancy trope. I guess I should go in a little bit what it was, but it's about this girl named Delora who, she committed a really heinous crime in her city, and so she gets thrown into the Vale where all the demons and Duskwalkers live, and she actually lands smack on top of he's known as Nameless a lot through the book. So she lands right on top of Nameless, who has been looking for a bride after he saw Orpheus and Rhea so happy together, and he thinks that Delora falling on top of him, this isn't a coincidence, this is his bride. And Delora kind of doesn't care. Delora doesn't want to die necessarily, but she also doesn't want to live anymore. She's very depressed at the beginning of the book. But a lot of people didn't like that there is a surprise pregnancy trope in it. And I didn't mind it that much. My only thing was like Delora and Nameless. I don't want to say his name in case it is a spoiler, but like Delora and Nameless, they have really terrible communication. Nameless, you can almost forgive because he is a Duskwalker and the only interactions he has ever had in his entire life with other living beings have been fight or flight. Other than Orpheus and Rhea. Orpheus he's not that close to because like all the Duskwalkers are very territorial beings, so like while they do recognize and want to help each other, they also like can only stand each other for so long kind of. And Rhea, she really likes Nameless too, but like she is with Orpheus, so like that wasn't an option. But she is his friend and she tries to help him. But he doesn't have a lot of like, he doesn't understand a lot of like how relationships work and what's supposed to be on it. All he knows is what he sees on the outside of Orpheus and Rhea's relationship. However, Delora used to be happy and then it got really bad relationship. And she does understand how relationships work because she's seen more than just one, if that makes sense. So like she got on my nerves a lot. Nameless did get on my nerves sometimes because he would repeatedly do stuff that he knew Delora didn't like, and that got on my nerves. But Delora would purposely like keep information from him because she was afraid that like he wouldn't want her anymore, even though like he was literally like basically killing himself for her. Their communication is just what got on my nerves a lot in that book. And then the last book I have is A Cruel Thirst. This is by Angela Montoya. This is about a guy named Lalo, and I'm probably going to be pronouncing all these names wrong, but he wants to go. He saw his parents get killed by a vampire one day, and no one in his town believed him. Everyone thought he was insane, and it was not only affecting him and his business that was left to him by the parents, but his sister, who just came out into society, was also being affected by it because no one wanted to be related to him, so like no one was approaching her. He goes and confronts the vampire that killed his parents, and she ends up turning him to torture him basically for all of eternity. However, he escapes and he figures out that if he kills the original vampire, who is in the mountains of Del Oro, I believe, he can end the vampire curse. The mountains of Del Oro are protected by the Fuentes family, who are a legacy vampire hunter family. Every generation vampire hunts, only the males, which is important. And our other protagonist, Carolina, she desperately wants to be a vampire hunter, but her family won't let her because she's a woman. Her grandpa is the only one who believes in her. He trains her in quiet, and one day they are attacked by vampires. Not everyone makes it out. And that day forward, Carolina decides she's going to be the most ruthless vampire hunter, even if she has to keep it a secret. So when Lalo comes trying to figure out where he can find the original vampire and basically like end this curse, Carolina at first attacks him, but then realizing what he's doing there, decides that maybe I can help him and save my city for good. It is a YA fantasy romance, and it is a very, very slow burn. It is really more focused on, I would say, the fantasy elements. You do get a hint of Lalo's and Carolina's attraction to each other throughout the entire book, but like it is until they are ready to admit it that it is there. I think this is Live, Laugh, Love. I really liked it. I thought it was interesting. There is another book written by the same author, and I think that's about a witch and a pirate, but I wasn't really interested in the description of that one, so I don't know if I'll read it. But I would recommend A Cruel Thirst if a vampire and a vampire hunter sounds interesting at all. I will say I found the beginning of the story kind of slow, and I'm not talking about the slow burn romance. I'm talking about like getting things moving. I found that really slow. And then I also wasn't really satisfied with the end. It's a satisfying end, is that like in the fact that it's an end and you know what happened. It's not like a Delirium trilogy situation where it's a very open-ended. But I would have preferred it ended in a different way personally, but it didn't end terribly. It was just like a very mediocre end in my opinion. But yeah, that is everything that happened this month. I had a very bland month, it looks like, because most of everything is it's all right.